Now, ladies and gentlemen, during the last couple of days of the first CS2 Major, a spectator decided to rush the stage while screaming. At the time, others in the crowd or the main traction, that being pro players, had no idea what was going on. They didn't know if it was an attack or just a fan/organization trying to get some clout, which it seems like that last part is true. It ended up being a fan or more so spectator/organization trying to get some clout. Nevertheless, it semi-worked. Over the last couple of days, and now since the Major is concluded, fans are left wondering if Valve will take action. That being when it comes to these unregulated sites and ways of trading, since this did happen on Valve's turf, actually sponsored by Valve, but it ended up happening on their own grounds. Today's commentary, I want to give a brief overview of what happened. I want to give my thoughts when it comes to Valve taking action against these sites, with what they'll do and how they'll do it. Now, today's video sponsor is Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is a buying but most notably trading marketplace, that being for your CS2 items. You can trade off your old skins for something new. All you do is log in with Steam, you start a trade, and any cash remaining goes to your available balance on the site. When it comes to trading an item you don't have enough balance for on the site, Skins Monkey has a large variety of deposit options. By using my code Mando, you can get up to a free $5, and by depositing alongside using my code, you get an additional 35% of a deposit bonus. With Skins Monkey's large variety of skins, they also offer daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways. If interested, the link will be in the top of the description down below. Now, firstly, for today's video is a brief overview of the story. Apparently, CSGO Empire has been accused of paying off a spectator in the crowd to rush the stage while screaming on how CSGO Roll is a scam, and how G2, though they are no longer sponsored by them, are also a part of this. Now, the CSGO Roll drama isn't new by any means. This all started around a year ago when CSGO Empire came out and accused them of not operating legitimately, not having the right licenses, essentially scamming their fans and people who use their site. And after some evidence of this and posting it on Twitter, it seems like Valve listened at the time anyway, by banning the majority if not all of their skins, which has now led to players wondering if trading could be next. This was the second time Valve took action against Gamba over here in Counter-Strike, but since most websites don't use bots anymore, especially these kind of more sketchy ones, they use peer-to-peer, there's no way to really stop it, which we'll get to that later. Now, how G2 ends up in all of this is they took a sponsor from CSGO Roll by having the head of the entire ad campaign, that being Monacy, the day he turned 18. So filming this entire thing, he had to have been 17. He was pretty new to Counter-Strike, that being in the pro scene anyway, and that's not even really the issue. The problem lies with the site and how they operate, which also leads us now to the present day. CSGO Empire wasn't necessarily wrong with exposing all of this. It was just more so the way they executed it, by having someone rush the stage. And doing that at any sort of event, esports or not, creates a lot of chaos and panic, especially when there's no context or notice of what's happening. This may sound dumb to some, but this must have scared some people for their life, especially some of these pros, since they had no idea what was going on. And that's just one of the sad parts about modern day society, especially going to a concert or a big event like this, such as the CS2 Major. Following this, security stopped him, but they ended up taking him to the ground, which also broke the trophy. Now, before, during, and after this all happened, flyers started getting handed out for how CSGO Roll was a scam, and so are G2 from taking that sponsor over a year ago, even though they haven't been sponsored by them in months. The last few days, CSGO Empire has had a tournament, but because of their own actions and their reputation being ruined, almost all teams have been pulled out, even after they raised the prize pool from $50,000 all the way up to $500K after the incident. Now, I'm assuming they raised the price because of damage control and they wanted more people to come, but I don't think that's a really good look, even though that is a lot of money, especially for these smaller teams. Which this all leads us to the question most of you have been waiting for, is what is Valve going to do about this? I mean, I know for a fact that people at Valve, employees there, definitely knew and saw this maybe even live happening, but will they take an action to ban CSGO Empire, ban CSGO Gamba altogether, or maybe have more restrictions for trading? You see, the problem with banning Gamba, like in 2016, is new sites with new names will appear within a week, maybe even 24 to 48 hours after all this happens. So the problem is ultimately going to continue unless trading is just ultimately removed, which I don't think that is ever going to happen. I don't really think that's on the table, but it is in some ways. It's the same reason Valve didn't do anything or make statements last year about the whole CSGO Roll situation, nor did they ban it altogether in 2016. In conclusion, I think there's actually a fair chance that Valve does go a tad bit harder on trading restrictions, of stating of what you can and can't do with your skins, but doesn't outright ban them. Now, the reason for them not ultimately banning everything is they just make way too much money. It's literally free ad revenue, or just revenue entirely. Now, during and after the majors led to a statement by many that skins are the worst thing to happen to Counter-Strike. Now, what are my thoughts on this? Well, I agree at times with this, and may even make a commentary one day about it, possibly next week, I'm not sure, but it's practically a no-brainer that CS wouldn't be anywhere near as big or even still relevant if it wasn't for skins. I'd go as far to say that Counter-Strike 2 or Source 2 Counter-Strike would have never happened, but that's a video for a different time. Now, if Valve is going to take any action, I'm assuming it's either going to be pretty soon or it's not going to be for a month or two. That being when it comes to restrictions for trading. The only semi-restrictions they've made within the past few years is updating their terms of service for what you can and can't do with your Steam accounts and your skins, and in there was a big restriction on Gamba, and this was updated last summer. And since the major sale is still ongoing at the moment, we haven't gotten the 75% off sale nor the Champions capsule. I don't see this changing anytime soon. Until there's some big lawsuits flying, this starts catching major headlines and them getting sued. Though this is my opinion, I don't see Valve ever taking action. Now, what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts down below. I will have a review out of the major entirely later this week alongside the future of CS2 esports. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, stay sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.